If you guys would like to get yourself some official Simpzy merchandise, check out my Spreadshirt link in the description below for t-shirts, hoodies, mugs and cups. If you do make a purchase, send me a photo on Twitter, but regardless, let's get stuck into the video. Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how are you all doing? Welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4. We're playing as Japan on the road to 56 mod. This is episode 7. So guys, if you still are enjoying this series and would like to see more, the best way to ensure more content is leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts and opinions, feedback, suggestions for the series. If you're not enjoying Hearts of Iron 4, feel free to leave a dislike and offer a suggestion for a different strategy game you would like me to let's play. So potentially we're going to be ending the series here today. You'll know by the title. It's currently the 9th of June 1944, and in today's video we're going to be attacking the United States of Brazil, the unified South America under Allied forces. I've skipped a couple of months ahead simply because to get my naval invasions complete, and I've had to rebase my army as well. So we're going to be knocking out Brazil. We're going to be ending World War II here today. And hopefully I'm going to be forming my own faction. I don't think I should betray the Axis, to be perfectly honest, because we've spent a lot of episodes just like already dealing with the United States, and on top of that, like we knocked out the States in the last episode, okay? We knocked them out with the Mexicans. The war should be over. We should have ended the series last episode, but for some bloody reason, I've never seen this before, but like there's a huge united allied presence. They even had all this pocket up here. We've taken it quite easily and established a beachhead in Venezuela due to, as you can see here, the United States may have had territory here, but they didn't have many forces. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. I'll go through my armies in a second, and there's a lot of naval results going on as well. We managed to take India as well. They finally capitulated. We had them on the ropes at the end of the last episode, and a couple of months ahead they've capitulated. I'm going to give, obviously, India, probably split it up between the Himalayan Empire, Bhutan, the Thunder Dragon Empire, and of course Tibet. I could give it all to the Thunder Dragon Empire because I love the name of it. So obviously we've had about, what, 50 divisions here fighting in India. I've had to actually relocate them around the world. So 2 have gone into Africa and 2 have gone into the Middle East. So we've got 16 divisions here fighting Allied forces of Brazil, Canada, Chile, even the Democratic Republic of Congo. We're fighting in Baghdad here. Arabia as well. We've got a small incursion force. We've actually got a rather large force here with 22 divisions pushing from originally Egypt down to the Horn of Africa region, and I've also got 20 divisions here that were formerly from India as well. They currently have extended. We had this small port here, if you guys can remember, in Gambia in the last episode, so we've actually managed to establish a pretty large Axis beachhead. Spain has capitulated as well. Portugal's done the dirty on them and have taken most of it. So I've redirected all my divisions that I had in the Americas to South America. So we've got 50 on the north border, and then we'd say we've got 2, 4, 6, 70 odd divisions here as well. So we had a pretty easy sort of landing here. As you can see, I have air supremacy over the top, and I've also got naval supremacy. I'll go through some of the naval combat because it's quite interesting. So I've redocked my 187 ships here in the Caribbean Sea, and I've also got 148 rebased just here in Africa. So I've got nearly over 300 ships currently operating in this area, and really dominating supremacy over Cape Verde. We've got the Caribbean Sea as well, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Florida coast. So we've had some unresolved naval results. Let's have a look at these. So my massive imperialist Japanese navy here, we've sunk 4 remaining American destroyers. We've had a lot of other cracks here as well. Like, just what really? Okay, we've actually sunk USS Indianapolis. That's a heavy cruiser. So we've sunk 3 of their submarines. We're currently on a search and destroy tactic. We did lose, unfortunately, 2 fighter pilots, but we're still managing. Wow, Vincennes. We're actually managing to get rid of a lot of the American Navy. Okay, that was more of a convoy assault from them. We're doing quite well. We're actually engaging the Brazilian fleet here now. Not too much of resistance. Unfortunately, supply is going to be the main concern for us. So what we're going to hopefully just try and do is just try and extend our reach. That's what we have to do. So try and take as many of these ports as possible. Try and push through the territory where we can. Everyone is pretty much on the assault, ready to go. And let's knock out Brazil, 9th of June. What? Okay, they joined that war. Right, okay. Let's push down south then. So as you can see here, we're cutting across America. The top divisions are going to push all the way down to Argentina and Brazil, and these guys are going to eat up the east coast there. We really want to sort of go straight and headstrong into their capital. Ace pilot promoted. Who dares wins. So let's push to the capital now. We do have a coup happening here eventually. When's the date? 16th of May 1945. I don't think we're actually going to come through that just yet, unfortunately. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, we've had a massive engagement here with the Brazilian Navy. We've managed to sink 7 of the Brazilian destroyers there. NRB Santiago Catarina. Then we've got the NRB Amazona. We'll leave it at that, I think, with those accents. So, as you can see, we're pushing into South America now quite comfortably. Well, oh, here we go. Here's some of the Brazilian resistance. Chile's there, moving up some units as well. It's going to be a nightmare fighting through the jungle. This is what I was sort of worried, like a united South America, especially pushing from the north, is crazy. But we do obviously have a hell of a lot of ports here in Mexico as well. Florida, and like, we've got air supremacy, especially when you've got, like, we've taken this northern airfield up here. So it was quite easy to naval invade. It just takes ages. Like, I'd rather skip and do this stuff off camera and then just get the beachhead and then push, because that's the more exciting stuff. Not preparing for the assault, like the boring logistics of it. Okay, I just want to quickly go through the war. So we've actually lost 5.5 million Axis forces compared to the Allies' 4 million. Which is crazy. Okay, so the Germans have committed only 500 men to the fight. Czechoslovakia 85k, Portugal 73k. The Japanese have committed 2 million men to this war. How crazy is that? Italy's committed 600k. Tibet's, wow, Manchukuo 500k. Italy there as well. Mexico have nearly committed 1 million. Good bloody on them. So, at the moment, as I said, we still only got to knock out the United States of Brazil. We're getting to that time in the campaign where we need to knock Brazil out quickly, because it only takes 50 factories to become a major force, I think, technically. So, what we don't want to do, we don't want is, like, other Commonwealth countries being like, oh, okay, let's, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to have to, like, invade Australia or something. We just want to sort of capitulate them. So, at the countries at the moment, we've sort of got to divvy up. UK, British Raj here. So, like I said, I talked about that quite easily. I'm going to give the entirety of the United States to myself. I've got to make sure I give the Germans a bit, because they've committed 500k's worth. But I've committed 41% here. As you can see here, I've really conquered a lot of states. Casualties... Japanese casualties, 1.1 for the States, 500k against the British Raj. Interesting. Only 31k to the UK, as the United Kingdom. Huh. Yeah, so obviously I'm going to give myself the entirety of the States. I'm going to divvy up India with my allies. Not really too sure about Africa. At the moment, it looks like I'm going to be able to get the overseas territory of Brazil. Or, you know what, I might even, like, puppet someone here or liberate someone. We'll find out. Right, let's push here and get rid of the Chileans. We just need to take the Brazilian capital, I think. Liberia has capitulated now. We've got some more naval results here. Oh, here we go. Oh, that looked like there was a big fight there between... Yeah, there's actually... Oh, there's a pretty big engagement here, guys. Looks like the American Navy's fled. Okay, so now you can probably see our it's not too bad, but it's sort of changed. I was going to say our manpower might be a bit alright. So let's just sort of hammer through the country now. Low supply is going to be the concern. I thought the Brazilians would actually have a quite bigger... Oh, they do, okay. They've got a lot holding out in their capital there. Continue to push here. To be fair, the UK has capitulated. And of course, so has the States. So I didn't think there'd be much resistance, especially on this northern border here. Let's continue to push through here. Can we swing out? Atomic research is finally complete. Man, I kind of forgot to do nukes, like, really early on. Like, we could have done it in 1940. It just completely, like, slipped my mind. But to be fair, we're going to be able to probably wrap up World War II without nukes. 1944 we're at. We've taken the Brazilian capital now. Where's the new one? Is he gonna show me? Nope. Right. Anyway, you need to take some of these points here. Nowhere near to capitulating just yet. We need to take more of these key points. Come on, lads. Swing down. Take the airfields as well. Airfields are crucial. If you can get rid of them, that can stop aerial supremacy, which is massively overpowered in this game. No, I don't think it's overpowered. It's just powerful, I think. Oh, Rio de Janeiro is the next on the list. Boom chakalaka. Alright. There's much more dots here as well. Where's their new capital? Porto El Galia. El Porto. El Porto. Alright. Continue to push, lads. Let's carve up these Brazilians. How many divisions do they have? 84 and 86. Where are they fighting? Or they're just so far back in the jungle. No, there's probably a decent amount fighting in Europe, you'd think. There has been. I've definitely noticed that there was a large chunk fighting within Europe. Let's continue on to the offensive to take Porto, and I reckon that's it. I reckon she's all over, Red Rover. Wow, they hit that 4 million mark, though, quite quickly. I can't get anyone to naval invade around the back or anything, no. Take that where you can. We've taken the sort of west part there. Oh, what was this? The People's United Province joined the Allies. Who? Who is the People's United Province? Dutch? Oh, okay. Is this weird shit still going on in here? Oh, yeah, we've had crazy shit going on this campaign with the Dutch. Yeah, the People's United Province. That's hilarious. That's the fascist Dutch. Yeah, smoking a crack. Smoking a pancake. Nothing really massive. I want like a massive naval, like, battle. Okay. I'm not incredibly fussed that the Dutch are come in. It's a little bit too late in my opinion. Alright, let's continue to push down here. We're really just carving up the Brazilians. There's not really much else they can do. That northern border was incredibly undefended. The communist Dutch lasts like 2 seconds. There's two things I hate in this world. People who are intolerant to other people's countries and cultures. And the Dutch. Oh, I love that Austin Powers quote. Sao Paulo, please. Take Sao Paulo. Alright. Finish off this, but you guys can have a crack at Sao Paulo. It's going a little bit all over the place. But now we've got supply. You can just see how easy it is just to hoover up this territory. My navy is wreaking havoc on reinforcements. I think that's what's going on, because there's been like no intervention here. Really. Yay! The United States of Brazil has capitulated. Excellent stuff. Wow. World War II is officially over, guys. The Treaty of Monrovia. We have to divvy up Libya, the United Kingdom, Turkey, Denmark, Finland, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Assyrian Empire, New Zealand, Philippines, South Africa, Arabia, the United States, Haiti, British Raj, Malaysia, Republic of Congo, and this. And I'm going to obviously give the majority of it to myself because I've done most of the fighting and most of the dying. I'll show you how I've sort of divvied up the world. Man, I was the one pushing for it, like, massively in this. So, obviously, I'm going to divvy up the British Raj between my allies. So I'm thinking I probably could give a lot of Africa and the Middle East to Italy, because they did quite well. But Germany, like 500k manpower, I can give you Denmark, perhaps, and maybe a bit of that northern... maybe a bit of northern France as well. But the majority of this, guys, it's going to be well-deserved to the Japanese. Like, these guys are the real MVPs. To be fair, I should give Mexico probably a bottom end of the United States. Maybe Texas and New Mexico. They did really well. They lost 1 million manpower there. They stood up against them. They actually made a really nice front line, so they didn't really do the big push and lose like 2 million men like I did, but I've got to help out the Mexicans, I think. Anyway, let's divvy up the world, I guess. Okay, guys, welcome back. The peace conference is over. The Treaty of Monrovia has ended, and so has World War II. So I've divvied up Liberia, the UK, Turkey, Denmark, Finland, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Assyrian Empire, New Zealand, Philippines, South Africa, Arabia, United States, Haiti, British Raj, Congo, Malaya. Yeah, sorry. We've got Belgium here, basically, Spain, and the Netherlands. I am using a faction manager mod, which allows me to divvy out the world as I see fit. Obviously, I lost 2 million manpower, and I did most of the fighting in all the theatres, so I get the fair share. So here are the demands. You're most welcome to pause and have a look at it. But I'm going to go through, obviously, what's happened in Asia, here as well, Southeast really, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and obviously how the United States and South America stand. So let's end the peace conference there. It is now over. It is now calculating. So I've been relatively fair in my opinion. There's one thing that I did miss, which I probably should have given instead of, but I should have checked how many Portuguese actually died in trying to take Spain, because it might have been a pretty big amount. Because the thing is, right, when I looked at it before, Portugal was actually given all of Spain, so I might have made a fuck up here. But in saying that, I have obviously helped out Germany instead. Okay, so we took 188 states, 26 for the Russian Empire, German Reich. I don't know why this is the Russian Federation. I think... I have a feeling my puppets turned to democracy, which isn't good. Italy took 33 states. Thunder Dragon Empire took 8 states. Mexico took 3. Himalayan Empire took 8. Tibet took 6. And all these countries were annexed. So this is what the world looks like now. An Axis black, but I will be leaving the Axis in a moment and creating my own faction and ending the series there. To be honest, guys, I could continue on and maybe betray Hitler and the Axis, but the thing is, right, I'm kind of happy with Hitler. He didn't really help me out in this war, kind of let me do my own thing, let the Japanese dictate the wars, obviously in China, expanding in Asia. Then we actually landed in Germany as well. We invaded so many thousands upon thousands of Japanese battalions from the mainland, landed in Europe, and managed to take out the mighty Russia. We had successful overseas campaigns in the Americas, and North and South America, which is great. Okay, so let's basically show how we divvied up everything. So, of course, let's move over to Asia. I've given, obviously, British Malay, Philippines to myself. I've given Japan. I've given us Australia. which is awesome, which is what we really want. I want to be the dominant superpower within Asia. Now, I've divvied up India to my 3 vassals, who well-deservedly, my first 3 vassals of the series, not including Manchukuo. So I've given the Thunder Dragon Empire here the lucrative Burma region, Delhi there, East Bengal here as well. I've also given the Himalayan Empire. Did I give them Delhi? No, where's Delhi? It's not there. I think this is Delhi. Yeah, Delhi's actually gone to the Himalayan. No, my bad. But to be fair, Hyderabad and Ceylon, Monsoy is really quite lucrative. We've got the Himalayan Empire here. Sorry, we've got the Tibetan Empire here taking most of this sort of modern-day Pakistani region. There's not too much there, but they've got some really nice sort of key points. So that's awesome. We've managed to divvy up between here. Moving on to the Middle East. I gave Turkey, Italy, Turkey. They did a bit of fighting here, but to be honest, there was fighting here, but I always was the one bringing it back. I landed troops, I pulled troops back, I landed troops again, and I thought, I actually nearly took Saudi Arabia with my reinforcements from India. I deserve Saudi Arabia, so we've got a nice connection from the top here of Russia all the way down here to Egypt. We have the Middle East under our control, Saudis. We've also got Egypt here as well. I gave Germany the northern half here. They didn't do much work for it, but I've given them Africa. Italy, I feel like they should be the rulers in Africa. They've always wanted sort of an overseas empire. Fighting in the Horn, even though I did most of the work here. The Italians lost 500k men, so I thought it was quite fitting. Now, I had to give the Germans something. I gave them, obviously, Denmark here. They've got a bit of stuff here. Right, I gave them Northern France. I did give them Spain as a consolation. I thought, I've got to give Hitler something. I should give him Spain. Maybe I should have given Spain to the Portuguese, because they did take it. I don't know. I didn't really see them take it. I think they might have just sort of had it under their control. They didn't really do much for it. So, the Russian Federation. So, what's happened here? Democratic. No! You're still my puppet, though. But the fascist Russians are there. I gave my puppet the Russian Empire before they became the Federation. I gave them Finland. I thought it would be quite fitting, because then we've got, obviously, we've actually got the real Russia, but the exiled fascists now hold Finland. There's a nice little sort of country here. Got the UK and Ireland myself. I did most of the heavy lifting. I took Greenland and Iceland as well. Got some nice little island hops. Okay, so I think that's all for Europe and Asia, really. That's basically all I did. Moving on now to Canada. Took the entirety of it myself. Now, in regards to the United States, let's have a look at this. I did most of the fighting in the night. I think I lost like half. I think I lost 1 million men. Half of what I lost for this entire war against the Allied forces. Now, the Mexicans, they did well. I've got to give it to them. They actually managed to push the Americans back and establish a really strong front line just in time for me to sort of come in and help. So, I've made the decision, which is kind of controversial, to give the Mexicans the state of Texas. Texas is probably the best state in America, like resource-wise. It's incredibly lucrative. We've got oil, we've got steel. Like it's really, if you had to pick one state in America to be the ruler of, you've only got to pick one. You would pick Texas, because of just all the natural resources it's got there. It's just an absolute powerhouse. I gave them, obviously, New Mexico. I thought that was quite fitting, and to be fair, I gave them the state of Arizona. I didn't want to give them California, because I want to sort of have these eastern Pacific states to myself. So that's what I've done with the Mexicans. Pushing down to South America here, I wanted to give some sort of natives Brazil. I didn't want to actually puppet Brazil straight up, because I hate them. I could have given the entirety of Brazil to Venezuela. That would have been quite funny, but I didn't actually have a puppet in South America, so I've just taken it for myself straight up. I would have loved to give it to some, like, I don't know, persecuted group, maybe another type of natives. But yeah, so currently in green is the state of the world that I now own. Okay, I think it's time to end this video on creating my own faction and officially leaving the Axis. So, let's negotiate with good old Adolf Hitler. I couldn't actually create my own faction until Sweden capitulated, so you can see here that the Germans actually took that. I had to wait for that war to go. We've still got the Nicaraguan-Panama War, which is interesting, to say the least. So, let's leave the Axis straight up. And as you can see, this is really what the Axis hold. They have Mexico, they got the top end of course, America, entirety of Africa, but only a small port here within Europe. We are the dominant superpower, of course. Okay, let's sort through diplomacy. Who likes me the most? We got to make an alliance with the Thunder Dragon Empire, I reckon. Okay, you cannot create without having national spirit to do so. That doesn't make any sense, because my national spirit is incredibly high. I am using a faction manager mod, so we should be able to straight up click here and go create faction law. So let's see if that comes into effect. I should be able to now straight up create a faction, yep, with the Thunder Dragon Empire. Now, I'm going to call... I had a couple of options here. I was thinking about maybe going with the Land of the Rising Sun, which is what Japan likes to call itself from time to time. But I've gone with, instead, the Empire of the Rising Sun. So, let's make the Japanese faction here now. The Dawn of the Empire of the Rising Sun. Together, we will never be defeated. And, of course, I want to try and invite everyone in as possible. But here we go. The Empire of the Rising Sun. We've got Asia and Russia under our control. North America and most of South America. So, I guess let me know in the comments, guys, if you'd like to see another episode after this defeating the Axis forces. But do you know what? I don't really mind. Like, the world is ruled by fascists. You know what I mean? Mr. Hirohito here is incredibly happy with himself, I think. And we've done incredibly well. We've helped our puppets out here. I want to try and flip them. We've established Belarus, Ukraine, Mexico. Hitler didn't help out in this war. Was sort of a little bit more chill. Really wanted to be sort of isolationist and sort of worry about Europe himself. But I could, yeah, I don't know if I want to have it. I'm sort of undecided, you can say. Mesmois is still a faction. The Free States, and so is the Benelux Union. There's no other states here. But yeah, it's cool to see that it's this wide as well. It'd be quite close, I reckon. We've got 657 military factories, which is sane. 6.7 manpower. We've got 2.1 million rifles. Every man and his dog gets a gun. We're going to be able to drop these guys like flies if we want. Division 343. Huh. 343. That's a studio, isn't it? Yeah, because the square root of 343 is 117. That's why there's the Halo studios are called 343, aren't they? Because Master Chief is 117. Anyway, I'm banging on about Halo now. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see another episode after this, or do you just want me to leave it as this. I'm kind of happy to leave it here. Fascist rules the world. We've created the Empire of the Rising Sun, and Domi Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Highly recommend Twitter. Every single time I post a video, a tweet goes out. It's much more reliable than the YouTube sub box. These days, to get all the notifications for the channel, you have to click the bell, of course, to join the notifications squad. I do enjoy reading those comments. If you guys would like to get yourself some cheap and reliable games, check out my G2A affiliation link in the description below. Maybe you can pick up a strategy game you haven't picked up just yet. Maybe Hearts of Iron, maybe Crusader Kings 2, maybe a Total War. Check out my G2A affiliation link in the description below for cheap and reliable games. I do recommend going and checking out the prices even. There's some really good prices on there. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye. Really close cinematic shots here, pushing through the bridge. Oh, look at... That was probably the shot of the video there.